Welcome to another session of microengineering. In today's session, we are going to discuss microcomponents which are involving ferrite components by the name isolator and gyrator. These are very simple microcomponents and very easy to understand. Let us see it together. This is an isolator. It's very simple to construct. How they have constructed an isolator is that they have used a rectangular waveguide at the start. Can you all see over here? It looks like a rectangular waveguide, a rectangular box. We use a rectangular waveguide, the red color which I am marking, a rectangular waveguide, and towards the end also they use a rectangular waveguide. In the center they use a circular waveguide. That means you have a rectangular waveguide at the extremes. The red portions which I have marked are both rectangular waveguides. In the center, they have the circular waveguide. That means when a wave propagates inside, it will always propagate using a TE10 wave. TE10 wave, because TE10 wave is the dominant mode of rectangular waveguide. Once it propagates inside due to circular waveguide, TE11 becomes the dominant mode. As a result, the signal will get converted into TE11 mode. Now, what are the extra components present over here is this thing is called as a resistive card. Resistive card is present in the front as well as the rear end of the isolator. Function of resistive card says that whenever an electric field in a direction perpendicular to resistive card, suppose a resistive card is over here like this and a electric field is passing through it, then it will allow to pass it. But suppose the resistive card is in this direction and you have the electric field coming in exactly parallel to it, on it, the resistive card will absorb it. So I repeat, electric field in a direction perpendicular will be allowed to pass through the resistive card, but if in a direction parallel will be absorbed by the resistive card. What is the meaning of this 45 degrees twist? It's called as a mechanical twist. The function of mechanical twist is that it will allow the signal to pass through, you can say so from port 1 to port 2 when a signal is passing, from port 1 to port 2 when signal is passing, the signal, if it undergoes an clockwise twist, if it goes and clockwise twist, then the twist will be changed when it is moving in the reverse direction. I repeat, if the signal undergoes a clockwise twist in port 1 to port 2, then while returning back, it becomes anti-clockwise direction, meaning the twist will change the direction. What is the function of this? This thing is called as a ferrite material. Function of ferrite material, it says that it maintains the sense of rotation no matter in which direction do you move. I repeat, it maintains the sense of rotation no matter in whatever direction you move. Now, this is in short, we explain about an isolator. Isolator, what do you mean by the isolator? The function of isolator says very simple. Whenever signal enters from port 1, the signal will be present in port 2 also. Means the same signal will be allowed to pass through. But when the signal is returning from port 2, the signal will not be present in port 1. Not be present in port 1. Isolator isolates the load from the source side. All microwave experiments in our lab always have an isolator. It's a very important tool and very easy to understand also. Alright, so we will start with the you can say explanation of this wave. Now how have I made this waveform over here is very simple. What do I do is that I make a quadrant like this and then I make a line like this, students. For me, how do I do it is that we always start the derivation of something like this. We say this is 0 degrees. If you want, I can make it in red. This is 0 degrees. Okay, this is 90 degrees. Everybody, this is 180 degrees, and we go like this. It can be clock. So clock will be always this side, and the anti-clockwise will be obviously that side. This is how I have made a sheet over here. I hope you understand the line. Now I'll be slowly explaining how the twist and things are going to happen. You can be with me. Okay, now let's start with the working. Please note that we are going to have the mechanical twist having 45 degrees anti-clockwise direction whenever it is moving in from port 1 to port 2. But remember, it is a mechanical twist. If it gives anti-clockwise from moving from 1 to 2, in moving in the opposite direction will give a clockwise twist. Now I'll explain it. Let's do it together. First, the wave will propagate from here like this. I am making it again for you. TE10. What is here over here? Resistive card. What does resistive card do? If parallel, absorb. If perpendicular, allowed to pass through. I hope you understand. This is in a direction perpendicular, so the electric field will be allowed to pass through. After that, you can see over here a 45 degrees mechanical twist. Function of this mechanical twist over here is to give a anti-clockwise twist in 45 degrees. In which direction? It is giving an anti-clockwise twist. So, if you say the quadrant is in this way, I can make it over here. If you make the quadrant in this way, anti-clockwise will come which direction? This side, meaning in the left side. That is why you can see 45 degrees anti-clockwise twist has been made like this. Can you all see this? Yes. This is because of this mechanical twist. After this, what is there? After this is your ferrite rod. Function of this ferrite rod is to give a 45 degrees clockwise twist. So clockwise twist means what will happen? It was 45 degrees anti-clockwise. Now 45 degrees clockwise means it again becomes a straight line like this. Then what is over here? Resistive card. What is the function? Perpendicular, allowed to pass through. Parallel, absorb it. So it is perpendicular, your signal happily moves out. So signal is moving from port 1 to port 2. Now let's see the opposite way. This time again a signal, electric field signal is allowing to the signal is passing through this part. Since it is in a direction perpendicular to the resistive card, signal will easily pass through. Fine. Then what do you have over here? A ferrite rod. Function, it will maintain the sense of rotation, I'm saying. So last time it was 45 degrees clockwise twist. Do you recollect this thing which we had done? 45 degrees clockwise twist. So what will happen now? What will happen? The signal will come over here 45 degrees clockwise. So signal is rotated to a 45 degrees in clockwise direction. What is over here? A 45 degrees anti-clockwise was there last time, but this is a mechanical twist which will change the sense of rotation in opposite way. So last time it was anti-clockwise, this time it's again going to be clockwise. So here your signal is already 45 degrees plus 45, the signal will come down in direction like this. It becomes 90. Are you all getting it? Now who is over here? A resistive card. The resistive card, on sensing the signal, it is in direction parallel to resistive card. Signal will be absorbed by the signal. You will not get anything. So what is the function of isolator? Allows the signal to pass through from port 1 to port 2, but when it comes back, the signal is absorbed. I hope you understand the application of isolator. Isolator is normally used in microwave experiments so that any reflections from the load end can be avoided. Thank you. Welcome to this session of Gyrator. I hope you have already heard the lecture of isolator, so this shouldn't be that much difficult for you all. Gyrator, by looking at the properties, you will understand that what is the use of this gyrator, and you remember what happened in isolator. When signal was propagating from P1 to P2, signal was present, and when it was propagating from P2 to P1, signal was not present in P1. So the function of gyrator will be explained by this constructional diagram. In the constructional diagram, we actually start by having again the same rectangular waveguide. I hope you remember. It is TE10 dominant mode. At the front end and at the rear end, both side rectangular waveguide is there, and in the center you have the circular waveguide. So the reason of having these rectangular at the start and circular is to have a tapered type of transition so that reflection losses can be made minimum. In this you can see, if you compare gyrator with isolator, there are no more any resistive parts anywhere. In fact, you just have a mechanical twist. Can you all see? I marked it with red color, and you also have the ferrite rod. The mechanical twist this time is 90 degrees anti-clockwise direction, meaning the mechanical twist will give a 90 degrees twist in anti-clockwise direction when propagating from P1 to P2. The function of ferrite rod over here is also again to give a 90 degrees anti-clockwise direction, just like mechanical twist when it is propagating in both the direction. I hope you remember the function of ferrite rod. It maintains a sense of rotation whether it is propagating from P1 to P2 or P1 to P1. Now let us start the wave equations. I hope you remember the wave patterns, how we used to draw. You can just look at the left hand side. We draw the quadrant in this way. This is how I am drawing the wave. Sorry, one second. I'll just rub off this one. It doesn't look correct. So we use a quadrant over here. I am just drawing one more line over here. So what happens is when the wave is propagating and wave comes over here, and suppose it is getting an anti-clockwise twist, you just have to move to the left hand side. And suppose it is going to the clockwise twist, you will come to the right hand side. This is how you're going to do it. Fine. Now, assuming that the wave is propagating from P1 to P2, suppose this is P1, the wave is trying to propagate from P1 to P2. So what you will do is that the signal while coming over here, it is TE10 electrical signal, it will propagate, come over here, nothing is there, no resistor card, no problem, it will just propagate. What is over here? Mechanical twist of 90 degrees in anti-clockwise direction. So signal comes over here, you have the quadrant like this. After passing over here, this signal will be, you can say, bended over to anti-clockwise direction 90 degrees. That's why you can see over here the signal is bent here. Can you all see this? Yes. Then the signal passes through this. What is this? This is a ferrite rod function again to give a 90 degrees anti-clockwise twist. So that is why the signal which was here in this direction will again go down plus 90 and reaches over here. So what happened is in total 90 here, one more 90 here, total becomes 180. So signal by the end comes over the port 2, the signal is already having a 180 degrees phase shift. Can you all observe this? So signal when propagating from P1 to P2 has a 180 degrees phase shift. Now let's observe the opposite end. I'll use some other color. I think a green will be better. Can you see it? Green color. A signal is propagating from P2, comes over here, nothing to stop it, so it's just moving, no resistive cards, nothing. What happens over here? This is 90 degrees anti-clockwise twist, so it goes over here because ferrite rod will maintain the sense of rotation. So 90 degrees anti-clockwise, that's why it has gone downwards like this. Yes, everybody. What happens over here? Again, a mechanical twist is there. Mechanical twist last time had given anti-clockwise when propagating from P1 to P2. Now it is coming back. This time it will give 90 degrees clockwise. So the signal which was sleeping, sort of sleeping, now will become straight because it's clock. It will come back. So the signal has come back. Can you all see this? There is no resistive card, so the signal comes out. That means signal when propagating from P1 to P2 has a 180 degrees phase shift. When it is moving from P2 to P1 does not have a phase shift at all. The signal is present but it is not like isolator. So function of gyrator is to give a phase shift when propagating in one direction and maintains and does not gives a phase shift when it is propagating vice versa. I hope you understood this lecture. Thank you.